Hey guys, how are you? It's Monday. For me, it's President's Day, and I have the day off. So I have my wonderful snowman pajamas on, hardly any makeup. Well, I put my eyebrows on because I didn't want to look like I had no eyebrows. And I'm not leaving the house today. It's a little earlier in the day, so I thought I'd do the video for you. I've been to Vegas and back in a very whirlwind trip. I'm still a little bit chilly, so maybe I'm going to go find a shawl to put on, and I need a drink. Yeah, so you guys ready to rumble? Me too. Good work week. Not much going on. Just the usual rigmarole. A few reports here, some sales reports there. Ask one department for their costs on basketball games. Put stuff together. Journal entries. It's good. It's fine. We're having a grand time. So, I hope you're doing very, very well as well. Let's roll into the progress report. The At Work project, this is Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful, a Lizzie Kate project. I have finished it. Hip hip hooray. I think I stitched the the flowers, and definitely all that green border there at the bottom. The green border is called for in a guacamole, but I didn't want to add another green to it. I totally could have. So I actually stitched it in the same verdigris as the butterfly is stitched in, just so I could, you know, pull more of that color in, have a little bit less crazy. It works out fantastic. I'm stitching this 1/2 on a 40 count light pink something or another from Picture This Plus. It's either Bashful or Bliss. We've had this discussion before. I should go look it up, and I never do. So that is finished. It is due to become a project bag for the Stitch and Give portion of Stitch Nanigans, which is coming up here in April. So I've got a month. I want to sew it into a project bag, so I've got a month to get that done, and we know how much I love procrastination. We'll see if I actually do it. Who knows? I might not. I need to finish it into something. Oh, I'm not done yet. I still have that. So there is that little project all finished up. Well, sort of finished. Tuck that in here. Zip this up so Princess cannot get her little furs all over it. And then I pulled out my First Violets kit. This is from RTO. Just a really cute little project. And I took that to work on Thursday and Friday, I think it was, that I worked on this. And then I worked on it just a little bit while we were in the hotel. Let's see. This flower practically got done. Most of this, the vast majority of this, is what I worked on this week. I knew it was mostly done, would be simple to do, so sometimes kits are really easy. Just doing it with the kit flosses, which are DMC on an 18 count Aida. Just doing what the kit tells me to. It's really, really a pretty one, and I'm quite pleased at how it's coming out. So it could go back to work, and I'd be happy to work on it for, you know, a little while longer, seeing as we're slowly coming into the quiet season. But I've got other plans for what we want to do at work. Put this once again. There we go. So Miss Princess cannot fur all over it. That's everything for the progress for cross stitch. And I didn't knit on anything over the week. Initially, my best friend was going to drive to Vegas, so I thought I was going to bring a knitting project so I could just sit in the car and, you know, go at it. Simple project. But it turned out that the weather dudes were predicting a major snowstorm, and so we got a little panicky and we borrowed my sister's car. It's an SUV, all-wheel drive, you know, a really nice vehicle, brand spanking new, so we knew we wouldn't have any troubles with that. So it ended up that I got to drive. Well, I think we'll go through the purchases, the fun stuff in the order of the Vegas story. So I guess we'll move on to stashquisitions and news notes and nonsense. We'll just, you know, squish it all together. So we were going down to Vegas because my daughter's, my best friend's daughter, there we go, they were going down to see a concert, and so we left Friday night, tried to keep ahead of the storm. Turned out we needn't have bothered because the storm didn't show up, but it certainly felt like every single member of the general population up here in northern Utah was headed south for the long weekend. I tell you what, it was not fun on I-15 with 2 lanes. The speed limit is 80 miles an hour. You either end up stuck in the right lane behind somebody who's doing 65, or a semi-truck trying to go uphill at 50 miles an hour, or in the other lane. Remember, the speed limit is 80 miles an hour, and everybody over there is doing 90 to 95, which is way too fast. I don't want to be doing 90 in the dark, bumper to bumper. That's just crazy nuts. And so it was a little bit of a stressful drive, but we made it A-okay, safe and sound, no problems whatsoever. As we were approaching St. George, best friend's daughter said, I just got an email from the venue and the band. The lead singer has injured his vocal cords somehow, and the concert has been canceled. Awesome. Well, the hotel's paid for. It's less than 48 hours until cancellation, so on we went. So we went all the way. So Saturday, it was basically play around Vegas and do whatever, whenever. My best friend's daughter had her boyfriend with her, and they went and spent the day with boyfriend's sister. And so we dropped him off at a place where she was going to pick him up, and, you know, kind of the strip. So they wandered the strip and got a look at it. You know, they're 19, they're 20, they're adults. We're not. My best friend is not a helicopter mama. I can't say that I'm not a helicopter mama because I'm not a mama. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. The kids are old enough. They should be able to look after themselves, you know. Don't do anything illegal, you know. Just keep it on the up and up, kids. Anyway, so off they went. We didn't see them for the rest of the day. And so my best friend Lisa and I, we headed over to Stitcher's Paradise, because you have to go to Stitcher's Paradise. Just for you guys, I remembered to take a whole bunch of pictures of the shop, so I will enter slideshow time for slideshow Stitcher's Paradise and go. Main reason for me going into Stitcher's Paradise, as I told you last week, is this is going to be for the girls, my nieces, for their Christmas present this year, and I needed a fabric. I buy lots of fat quarters, so at the longest those are about 22 to 24 inches long depending upon the fabric, but I needed something that was 31 inches, and so Stitcher's Paradise has a fabulous fabric room, I'm sure you saw. And this is what I ended up choosing. This is a picture of this plus fabric. It's 28 count, so I'm going to stitch it over 2 on this. And the colorway is pampas, like a pampas grass, P-A-M-P-S. So it is a huge, huge, huge length of fabric. I only need 31 inches, but at Stitcher's Paradise you have to buy it in multiples of fat quarters. So I had to buy a long quarter of fabric. Not a lot, not a quarter, a half. I had to buy a half yard. And that's the cost per yard, my friends. So at half, gets a little pricey. So that was the main purchase that I was going for. And I need to take that in, iron it, cut it to the right size, zigzag the edges, and, you know, put it in the work bag and make it ready to go, because I am pretty much ready to go. Look, see? Got all my yarns, all the flosses. They're all pulled, put together, ready to go. So got that all going together so I can take that to work on tomorrow and start in on that. So there is that. Of course, you can't just walk in and look at nothing. You have to look at all the things. And so I did. I looked at all the things. And I added to the Lizzie Kate collection. So here is a Little Luck, which is one of the little thingies, you know, kits with yarn and, not yarn. It's just fabric. There's just fabric in there. Fabric and a charm. So there was that. And then I picked up a Little Gray Hare. He's super adorable. And this one is another kit. It has the flosses and the finishing fabric and all sorts of that stuff. So that's a full kit. One of these actually had a needle in it. And then I picked up Spring Crazy. And then I was just wandering around and I saw the Just Nan Spring Humbug from 2010. And I know this is kind of a rare one and you don't see it for sale often, so I snatched this up because these little guys, pansies, yes, of course, I had to have it. It's one that I've kind of been looking for, but not seriously looking for. So it has the pin up there and then all the beads and stuff down here. And it calls for like 1,800 different DMCs, like Just Nan. So you'll do 3 stitches of one color and flip it out. And then because I was feeling the sheep, I saw this little black sheep scissor fob. This is the designer. Anyway, I thought he was super cute, so he got to come home with me. And then I picked up, this was Will You Be My Valentine? He's so cute! Oh, he's just darling. Guys, he's huge though. He's like 147 by 87. Okay, not huge, but that's, you know, that is not spring chicken small in size. So those are they. And then at one point I was throwing stuff into my basket and I looked at my basket and I looked up again and I said, Lisa, this is getting expensive. We have to quit now. I'm checking out now. And so the last thing that I threw in my bag is, my basket is a project bag. It has all these beautiful Parisian dogs on it, the Eiffel Tower, some macaroons, looks like a tiramisu, even though that's Italian. Anyway, these guys were just cute and they had to come home with me. And it's mostly that Parisian Corgi because, he's just darling. Corgis and French Bulldogs and Dachshunds. Love them. So that was my let's buy everything we see and don't even question it adventures at Stitcher's Paradise. So next up, Lisa was looking for some batiks for a quilt project that she is looking to start. So we asked the ladies at Stitcher's Paradise if they could recommend a couple of good quilt shops. And so they recommended a couple, and on their recommendation, can I say recommendation more times? Yes, probably. Anyway, we wandered off to the Christmas Goose, a fabric store and little gift shop. And so here are some pictures of that shop right here. So I managed to get out of the Christmas Goose without buying anything, which is absolutely amazing. Lisa looked at a lot of fabrics. We put some stuff together. She can't decide if she's committed to the pattern or the fabric, but she kind of has a little trepidation on it. So she didn't buy any fabric either, but she did find an absolutely gorgeous scissor sheath made out of wool that had like a pin cushion. It was big enough for a regular pair of like 9-inch shears, and then on the back side it had a little pocket for tiny ones and a pin cushion and a little dangle with a thimble and another tiny pin cushion on this dangle thing. Anyway, it was a super cute wool project. So after we puttered around inside of Christmas Goose fabric shop, I looked at the clock and I said, oh, it's 1 o'clock. The yarn shop closes at 3. We probably ought to get across town and check the yarn shop out. And so we headed across town and went over to Sin City Yarns is where we went. And they were having a knit-in day, but I didn't bring my knitting, so I didn't knit. A cute shop, but since there were so many people in there, I didn't take any pictures. But it's a cute little shop, a lot of Cascade yarns, Plymouth yarns, lots of, I can't even remember any of the indie dyers, but there was no Malabrego, there was no Volmisa, I just say mostly mainstream yarns. So I asked the owner who was there, I said, okay, so where are your local indie dyers? Because I want to buy something and support the local indie dyers for my souvenir sort of thing. And so here is Tink, Perfectly Imperfect, in the colorway Sandstone. And so this is a gorgeous lightly browny cream with flecks of yellow and purple and sort of on the warm tones of the red and purple. So this is a local dyer. So I picked up this one. I just love those pinks and those purples. It's really fun. And then Sin City Yarn, they actually do a few dyes for themselves. And so I picked up this Screaming Pink skein, and this is a Flamingo Lounge. Yeah, it's pink like a flamingo. Pinkety pink. With some little yellows and blacks, beaks, feet, legs, stuff like that. Anyway, it's a really fun one. They don't really go together, so I can't. It would be foolish to try to pair those together in a project, but I like them both for independence. I'll probably find a single skein pattern for something and knit those up. So I need to add these to the good old Ravelry inventory. And then I picked up a copy of the Slip Sliding Infinity Scarf because I really like the look of the basket weave and the slip stitches. Really quite fun. This is used in like a DK or a worsted, and so I think I will, you could use a gradient, but I don't have a gradient in that size. But I do have a monster skein of Yowza in its blue and purple specs, and I think that would look very nice in this one. So I have a plan for a skein of yarn that I already own. So that is excellent. What did we do? What else did we do? We stopped for lunch, and while we were stopped for lunch, we looked up a few free things, and so we ended up back down on the strip. And I hate the strip, you guys. That's just the way it is. Either I'm an old fogey or I don't know what, but it just seems so much more crowded than it used to be. People are everywhere. The spots that used to be free parking are no longer free parking. So, there's one place that I know that still is free parking, so that's, where I can go and park for free because I'm cheap. Anyway, so we parked and walked up the strip to the Flamingo to check out the flamingo enclosure in the gardens that they have sort of between, you walk through the carousel into a courtyard and they have flamingos and ducks, and there are some monster koi. I mean, koi like this, big koi. I mean, they're gorgeous fish. Absolutely, I should have taken pictures of them, but I wasn't thinking that way. I did take a picture of the flamingos, so here's a picture of those little guys. So we spent some nice time there, just poking around the gardens, looking at the fish and the flamingos and the koi. And then we went back out onto the strip, and just, you know, down from the Flamingo is the Bellagio, and it was about 10-15 minutes before the fountains were due to dance. So I said, hey, let's go down and watch the fountains do their thing. So we, you know, crossed the street, did the sky bridges, the pedestrian walkways. Those are fantastic. And went over to the Bellagio and watched the fountains dance. So here's a picture or two of dancing fountains. Of course, dancing fountains in no particular order, and if I had actually been thinking, I would have recorded on my phone. I do these videos on a camcorder, and I didn't actually bother to take the camcorder with me. So I could have done it on my phone, but I didn't. They were choreographed to Singing in the Rain. Gene Kelly? Maybe. I like that movie. I can't be trusted with actor names, so we'll just pretend. Right? Anyway, so they were doing that thing, which we thought was rather appropriate because there was a storm coming in from the south. Like the jet stream had dipped from Alaska down past the coast of California and then turned, and then can't come up over Southern California, Nevada, and up into Utah, sort of, you know, like this. And so on and off all day, you know, we'd be inside, and all of a sudden it would be raining like crazy, and just rain like crazy for, you know, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then it would clear up. And then half an hour, 45 minutes, more rain like crazy. So we had been really lucky that we didn't get rained on or anything, but we thought it was quite appropriate that the fountains were being choreographed to Singing in the Rain when we saw the show. So that was that. And we walked back up to the car, checked into the hotel, and tried to figure out where the kids were. And the kids were having dinner with daughter's boyfriend's sister. So we went and found us just a teriyaki place that was close by the hotel, reasonably priced, actually really good food. Enjoyed that, and went back to the hotel room, and I was done. My feet were tired, my back was tired, I'd been driving way too much, I hadn't gotten near enough sleep, so we just sat in the hotel room and watched good old Josh Gates on Exploration Unknown, and I stitched a little bit on the RTO pansy kit that's over there somewhere. So that was our adventures in Vegas. In the morning, the next day, slept, got up, got showered, had breakfast at McDonald's. Breakfast at the McDonald's is the only meal I will eat at McDonald's. And then we headed back north for home. It was like a really whirlwind trip, you guys, down and back. So that is that. Okay, I've been talking a lot. The next up thing I have for you guys is the Floobies. And there are a ton of Floobies. Looking at the time and knowing how bad my voice is going, I'm just going to give you their names. As usual, I will have links to all their channels in the description box below. So you go check them out, say hello, give them a like, a warm, hearty Flosstube welcome. Some of them have been around more than others. Others are just brand spanking new. Some of them have been shouted out by some of you before. Anyway, that's all good. It's all fine and good. So go check all of these wonderful people out. The first is McFly Stitches. Stitching with Wolf and Noodle. Candace Sublower Stitches. Java Girl Stitches. Oh, To Be Purple. I have to like her because she likes purple. Misty B. Stitching Happens. Melissa the Daily Mel. Interlocking Loops. Cutie Stitch. Creative Mama, Van 8. Life a Stitch, Susan. Life's a Stitch. Illy spelled correctly in the description box below. I'm not really sure what I wrote down. Who's Your Apple? Danny SG. And The Rocking Stitcher. So go check them out. Some fabulous, fabulous YouTubers in the making down there. So go give them a warm Flosstube welcome and hugs and say hello. We have made it out of the week without the HOA president doing something new and crazy and infuriating the entire place. So that's good. That's it, I think. I've been working on packing stuff away. Today I've been sorting through all of my stash, making sure it's all updated in the inventory. I found that I have multiple purchases of several Lizzie Kate charts, so that means that I was not checking the inventory before I made a purchase, and I had gotten a little bit behind on listing all of my patterns. So there were some where it's like I did one order and then like 2 weeks later I did another order and here's the same pattern in both these places. So that's awesome possum. So I'm trying to decide what to do with those. I'll probably give them away because what else am I going to do? Deanne, your thing is packed up, addressed in my purse, and I haven't got to the mail because I'm sorry. End of the year. Or hopefully before I move, because if I move without having done it, it might be all over with. That would be a bad thing. I'm just going along. I hope you guys are going along too. It's sunny. I get to see the sunshine, you guys. You don't know how wonderful this is to be at home. And it's about partly cloudy. There's a few clouds out there, but you know, like I say, you can see through my window that it's fabulously sunny. Mom and Dad have started cleaning out their rooms and stuff. The spare room over at their house has just been packed with random stuff that kids have left behind when we've moved in and out and in and out and in and out again. So they're starting to clean out their stuff and looking forward to me moving home while they go on a mission sort of thing. And I'm starting to clear out stuff here. I don't know how to do it. I have a stack of books that I'm ready to get rid of. I'm ready to get rid of a bunch of kitchen stuff because I don't really cook. And why do I need 3 of the same size Pyrex bowl? And, you know, I never cook. I should keep one and get rid of the rest of them and just do the thing. And I'm working on it. So that's part of the reason why there has not been a lot of crafting except for the at-work projects is because when I come home, it's either raid night for World of Warcraft, which I don't have any stories on that this week because I missed raid because of driving and snow, and then organizing, trying to put stuff away, trying to weed out all the stuff. I'm really sad. I need to go through my closet and get rid of most of my skinny girl clothes. That's hard. Especially when you keep thinking, okay, I'm going to do it. This time I'm really going to do it. And then you end up buying the next size up because I like food. Let's just, you know, I like food. So there's that. Alexa's going to tell me that she doesn't recognize what I want her to do, and she just did her thing. Anyway, so I'm rambling. Thank you guys for coming and visiting with me. I know I'm a little cray-cray or a little whatever, but, you know, I don't have to go to work, so I'm in my pajamas. I hope you're in your pajamas. I hope you got a craft project in your little hands while you are pajama-ing in the sunshine. And it's fabulous. Remember, let's be kind to everybody we meet. I'm trying really, really hard myself to do the same thing because, you know, I'm not perfect. I might be a boring person if I was perfect. Who knows? Anyway, trying to be a better person, trying to make the world just a little bit better one day at a time. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're seeing the sunshine. I hope you're doing your one step forward and one step up. I love you guys. Thank you to all of you who have been with me from the beginning. And hello, welcome to all you who have subscribed in the last little while. Hi, welcome. It's just, we're just here. I don't know what to say. We're just here. Love you guys. Take care. Hugs and stitches. Bye.